맞아. Starting soon. 이거야 벌써. 뭐야? 나.
AIESEC. Knowledge. Cool, thank you. So now we're going on to the LCVP speeches. So we'll have all of the candidates' names for us. So Barata, Serena, Maron, Valerie, and then Gabby, and then Priya and Prudence will also do like a 1 minute presentation as well, and then we'll go into the panel. So the same amount of energy, same amount of engagement as we had for the LCVP candidates. So if we could welcome in the first candidate, are we ready? AIESEC Birmingham, are you ready to welcome Barata?
Hi guys, my name is Barata, and today I'm running for, I'm a candidate for LCVP, and well, I've been an AIESEC member for about 2 months now, and I think my AIESEC experience has been really amazing, and this is because of, I think, the AIESEC members I've met. Everybody has been very welcoming, and they just appreciated me for being me, and that really meant a lot. And I just actually would like to thank everybody for just because I came to the UK, I just this is, well, last year was it's my first year coming here, but not a lot of people have been accepting of international students, and coming here, it was just really nice to be accepted by people. So my reason for joining AIESEC was because I felt that it was time for me to break free from the chains of fear and the lack of self-confidence that have been holding me for all these years. And for a long time, I've let amazing opportunities pass me by, and I've always been left with what if I did this, and maybe I should have done this, and I don't think I should do that anymore. So for a long time, I told myself I couldn't change things, and I feel like I can now. So actually, recently a friend of mine just came to me and told me that the only person who's stopping me from doing all the things that I can do is actually myself. And I need to let that go, and I need to let all the fear go. And I think that it's time for me to do that, and that's what I'm doing. So I believe that LCVP has many responsibilities and challenges. And challenges are meant to push us to our limits so that we can recognize our potentials. And it would be an honor to work with all of the other candidates on the executive board, and I hope I get the chance. Thank you.
So the next person, Serena. Standing up. So let's welcome Serena!
The journey of 1,000 miles can start with a single step. This is said by a famous Chinese philosopher. And I believe everyone in here has taken the first step. No matter a step out of their comfort zone or a step to challenge themselves, And here I would like to share my own AIESEC journey. Over the past few months in AIESEC, I've learned as much as I've observed. IGIP not only gives me an opportunity to interact with professionals, and by professionals, I mean adults who have been working even before we were born. It also taught me how normal it is to get rejected. So sometimes nicely, if you're lucky enough, or harshly. But however, since IGIP is such a small team, I never feel demotivated, as we all encourage each other, sometimes with food, and especially Philip, who although might have a special sense of humor, but never fails to motivate us every time we get rejected again. And in January, I started helping out with LCVP's marketing activities. This starts from a day during last term. I was casually walking outside the library and I saw a few LCVP members flyers. I was really curious about how it's like to work in a bigger team and how they're dealing with a completely different target audience. So I decided to help out. I'm for going to information sessions, flyering, helping out with pop-up stalls, and cold calling potential EPs. And I realized how rejection might be a common theme in our exchange functions. But I never feel like giving up, as people in AIESEC are very supportive, especially the VP of LCVP, Karen, who motivated me the most and who made me believe that I have the potential to be a leader. And being in two functions, I gained a deeper understanding about the structure and also the values of AIESEC. And this is why I decided to apply. I believe that leadership isn't all about titles, positions, or mastering XY or HubSpot. I believe that it's influencing others, making a difference, like how the current EPs is. And they are who I aspire to be. Thank you.
Last appeal, please.
The next candidate is Maron.
So yeah, good afternoon everyone. I'm Maron Chen and I'm applying for LCVP Finance this year. So before I begin, I'll start to introduce myself. So I'm Maron Chen, currently a fresh year student studying chemistry pharmacology. And I joined AIESEC since October 2015 and I'm a member in OGIP. And in my AIESEC journey, I joined the introduction conference and also Maxis. And in Maxis, I gained a lot of new skills and I had lots of new experience. And it was my first time meeting a TED Talk speaker face to face. And yeah, back to high school, I was chairman in the sports department under the student association and also a public relations director in the Joint School Society. So yeah. So what's my role in the groups? I'm not the top, but I'm also not the bottom. In the sports department, I have a president leading me, but I'm also the leader for my department, and same in the Joint School Society. And so my role is to connect my members to the president. I learn from my leaders. I learn how they allocate different resources and how they lead others, and so that I can have more experience to lead my members. And also I serve as a role to connect different departments because I'm the leader of the groups. And this year, I'm applying for finance. Though I'm a science student and I was chairman for the sports department, it makes no sense with finance. But I know what I'm doing here because as a chairman and a director, I've gone through lots of financial report and I somehow know how to maintain a good financial status in a group. And also, I would like like to learn more skills. I know that my skills are not enough in finance, so that I will gain more skills being a finance VP and to have a new me. And last, I would like to have a brief proposal of being a finance VP. And my main focus is R&R, recognition and reward. By providing such incentives, such as money incentive or free food, free show, I hope not only to motivate our members to contribute more to the LC, but also help them to recognize their role in the group. And first, maybe we have the best promoting person or the best promoting function. And second, number one is not only about the best function or best person, but also those who stand in the front and on behalf of our LC and to promote our LC. But some people may work in backstage and support our LC, and therefore we have another reward for those who support like financial TM. And yeah, that's all for my speech. Thank you very much.
So our next on stage is Valerie.
AIESEC.
No,
bitch! I'm Valerie. I joined AIESEC Birmingham as a new member at OGCVP since last September. I believe every one of you gathers here at the EB election for the same reason. That is to make sure we have the right people to carry on with the good work to make our LC thrive. And this is why I'm standing here today. I want to contribute my effort to make AIESEC Birmingham a remarkable LC. Our current EB has been doing a great job this year. We're getting very close to our goal of 200% growth, and I know we will achieve it. However, as what the famous American basketball coach said, constantly be observing and aware. Always seek to improve yourself and the team. Therefore, becoming an EB next year, I would focus on 2 specific areas to work on. First, I would try every effort to further expand our membership base. And second, I would make our work more fun and meaningful to get our members more involved and passionate about what we do. Having worked closely with OGCVP and attended LCMs at Maxis, I have a good appreciation of AIESEC culture and vision. It is important to have faith, to believe that we are capable to make a change locally, globally, and internationally. I'm confident that I can achieve the 2 goals I set for myself to attain for AIESEC Birmingham next year. During my voluntary mission to South China to work with the underprivileged children in a poor village, I hosted a group discussion panel with the team to get the children involved with our goals and steered a hands-on renovation project to improve the living environment for the children. It was just amazing that all of us, volunteers and children, all had a great time and learned something. These experiences have equipped me with the skills to host events and activities that will flare up the enthusiasm with AIESEC Birmingham members. With my passion, I promise I will make our AIESEC events and meetings more fun and fulfilling to attend. In order to increase AIESEC's impact to the university, it is important for us to grow our membership base. Being the VP of the Sports Association in my high school, I successfully planned and organized a 3-day camp which enrolled over 100 attendees. I also was responsible for recruiting cheering team members. These experiences have gave me some good perspective on how to get more people sign up for clubs and events. In the coming year, we will be running some bigger recruitment campaigns to gain more visibility. Please put your trust in EB 1617. We will make every effort to grow AIESEC Birmingham and make an impact. Thank you.
Next candidate. We welcome
marble. Yep. Hi everyone, thank you for having me here. My name is Gabrielle. Most of you probably know me by Gabby. I'm a second year international relations and politics student, and I'll be running for the LCVP IGIP position, or whichever position that our new president thinks is fit for me. So to be a successful vice president, I think there's a certain number of characteristics a person should embody. I think they should be a good team player, they should be able to communicate well, they should have great confidence skills, as well as obviously time management. So I think I've got these skills, and I think I embody these qualities because I've had different experiences throughout my life. So I've worked in a customer service job for over a year now, and I've been working alongside my studies. So obviously that has taught me to balance my work and my academic life quite well. Alongside that, I've learned to also adapt to volatile situations to ensure every client that comes to our restaurant has the best experience possible. I've also worked as an English interviewer at a research project, and through this I've learned communication skills, which are obviously very useful whilst emailing, contacting, networking companies in order to increase obviously our IGP sales and the marketing incentive. I also traveled and moved several countries since the age of 15, so obviously I think that's helped me grow and mature quicker and also become a better person than who I am today. If you elect me your vice president, I will not only gain personal experience and growth, but also ensure the growth of our team members and as well as AIESEC as a whole. I'll search out people's strengths and help them use these to your advantage, as well as help people develop their weaknesses and make sure that they work on them and become their best version of themselves. I want to support the effective and successful leadership of IGVP and as well as AIESEC as a whole. The ways I believe I could contribute to the work of IGVP would possibly be setting up a personal Twitter account for the IGVP group to put us on a more social media platform in order to be able to communicate with firms better, so to put our brand name out there. Secondly, I will make a personalized and company/industry specific email template, so every IGVP member can follow step-by-step instructions in formulating a very tailored email to each company, so that maybe we could possibly increase our sales or increase our meetings with companies in order to get more interest within our brand. Secondly, or thirdly, I will obviously contribute to the executive board work and help the bettering of AIESEC as a group as a whole. So yeah, vote for me for your LCVP.
Presentations from Priya and Prudence. Just like 1 minute presentations for them. So they're ready. So the first one is Priya!
The morning was a great experience for me, and I'm really grateful that I got to be a part of this process. And I don't really consider it as a failure as myself, as I didn't join this election with the ultimate goal of being LCP. I joined this election because I wanted to learn more about myself. I wanted to be part of a journey, and I wanted to say that I put myself out there and to show people that I'm committed. Yeah, so I'm putting myself forward for a VP position because I want to be part of change. Like looking at the current EV committee now, it's kind of great. Like I would like to do something like part of something like that next year as well. So yeah, thank you.
Last speech now. So if we could, as much enthusiasm as the last one, so we welcome Prudence! Hey AIESEC! Yo, bitch! I'm my best already. So I'd like to say I really learned a lot.
stuff during my year in IGIP, which includes embracing rejections. That's why I'm here again. And I learned to prospect after failures and failures. But anyways, in IGIP, I learned how to step out of my comfort zone, prospecting companies, contacting companies, meeting with basically companies, yeah. And I know that we have like 4 LDMs in AIESEC, which is like global citizen, among others, solution oriented, and self-aware. I'd like to say, during my days in IGIP, like when I'm code calling, I like to be solution oriented and like all those LDMs because I have to go past gatekeepers and gatekeepers. Basically, they're like not willing to let us go through. And I just want to say I can transfer my experience to my future team members. Thank you.
So just as before, in going to Q&A, and in the same way, we'll ask you to ask questions for all of the candidates. So again, make your questions general, but if you want to ask a sort of function-specific question, that's good too.
Okay, now let's move here.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's 7 minutes.
to just promote AIESEC to like everybody, because I feel like we're promoting it to specific type of people that do specific courses. Yeah, but I think it just should be to everyone, because I don't think at the med school a lot of people know about it. I do medical science, and it's just, we need to just put it everywhere, in everybody's faces. And I think social media is like really good. Facebook, Instagram, I think everything. So, because everybody's always on their phones and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, those are the things that we should do.
I think we should have stronger team bonding between each functions. More socials and whole LC. And like, because it develops the responsibilities for each of the members. And because like for IGIP, although we are such a small group, but then we are all like helping each other, and we have such strong bond between. And for new members, I really think that they should be encouraged to go to conferences, because that's where they met the rest of the AIESECers in the UK. And through like roll calls and then you speak, and I think that's how they learn more about AIESEC and our values.
I think incentive is the most important factor to attract our members. Like we should not give them a mindset that our LCM or other functions or other conference is like a responsibility. Instead, we tell them that it's like a party, it's fun, it's like a show, and this can like provide an incentive for them to join. Also, as I'm applying for finance VP, I think some like money incentive or some like free stuff may attract them. Also, I would like to say that we should give a mindset to them that they should first get involved, but not to bear any responsibility, so that they won't feel like they are pressured to go, but instead they would like to have a new experience what it is, and then they will be interested in it and to bear some responsibility.
So for this year, I think our members are not involved enough, because we all have the mindset that we think that if we don't do it, someone else will help us to do it, and that is the main reason why there's some people that never appears in meeting or work. So I think for this year, if we want to solve our problem and get more members to be involved in our assignments, we have to designate specific work for them to do, so that they know they have something that they have to finish in order to stay in this LC. So for next year, I think that's more important to make our members more passionate and involved in our work. So I think the most important thing is to get closer with them and organize sections to make them more passionate and more involved in our activities, and believe what they do can change, and that is how will they become more involved in our activities.
Yeah, so to counter this problem, I think I agree with a couple of previous points that were stated about more socials and kind of involvement of the whole community, so the whole AIESEC as a group, and then we can sort of break it down more individual level, down to different committees. So I know, for example, IGP, we're only 6 members, we're quite small, so it's easier to follow each person's progress and see how they're doing. I feel like this probably could be applied to larger committees as well, so maybe you can divide them into smaller groups and maybe allocate not an official like team leader, but someone who can overview them and see how their progress is going and ensure that they're happy with what they're doing and that they understand what they're actually striving to achieve, as well as maybe do some sort of review progress forms at the end of each either month or term or whatever. I know they're not always successful, but maybe just something to try out and see how it goes.
If I was to be elected to lead, I would motivate my team, and I would like make them feel valued, that what they're doing is important for our LC and for our progression, because sometimes they may feel that what they're doing is not important or it doesn't matter if they're not there. But yeah, making them feel more valued, I think, is more important. And also LC culture, that some people have stated that we should create even more stronger bonds, because like this year, I think I've got to know everyone quite slowly, but I think if we started off the bang, like at the beginning of the year, and make sure that we like involve lots of people, like say people don't like partying or like drinking, accommodate everyone's interests so they will feel welcome.
I think there's like two main points to two main points. That is first, sense of belonging and positive reinforcement. By sense of belonging, I think it's important to have better team bonding by, for example, more socials or going to conferences and meet more people. By positive reinforcement, it means that to provide rewards to whoever that did anything that's good, to make sure that they keep motivated to do more work. So yeah, that's it.
So the next question will come from now.
So my question is, how do you continuously motivate your members?
So I think most important thing is we should really know our own members, because like if they're comfortable around you, and it's easier to motivate them, and they know what they are like stressing or like they're facing out. And afterwards, I think it's a good thing to set a good example. So like you do everything yourself first. So maybe for example, for lecture shouts, you're doing lecture shouts in front of them, so they feel motivated to do it. And also, I feel like reward and recognition is also very important. Things like the incentive will make them like motivated and they have a goal to work towards.
I think we are all humans, so we like being in groups, and we will be easily influenced by others. And therefore, if we just tell our members that we have some like conferences or some activities that we should join, maybe they will be like, oh, it's so time wasting, and they will spread the news, and all the members will be like, I don't want to join. But if we like have some personal chat with each member, maybe just 5 to 10 minutes, or have a dinner with them, and just share more your personal experience with them and how good these conferences and how beneficial they are, and so that each of them will be personally influenced, and they can influence their friends or their other members as well.
I think to get our members being more motivated, it's important to have a stronger bonding with them. So I think regular socials are really important. We should get them involved with our AIESEC culture and our visions to let them know what do we want to do. I also think that goal setting is really important, as what now is to set goals for us, and if we achieve something, we get some rewards. Also, I think constant tracking and reflection is also important to let members know what do they have to do, or what do they need to do to improve themselves. Also, if we provide them with targets to meet, they will feel motivated with because they have the responsibility to do something.
So in order to motivate our members even more, I think the first thing is obviously, as the members mentioned already, to set goals. So obviously people feel more motivated when we have a certain goal that we wish to achieve. I think an important aspect of this would be to provide some background knowledge to what each committee stands for. So obviously like do very in-depth info sessions for each of the committees, ensuring that every member knows what they're working towards and what the main goal of that particular committee is. Of course, AIESEC as a whole as well. Secondly, as stated in my my speech earlier, I would say that you have to focus on people's strengths. So if you can see that certain individuals can do a job very well, maybe you should focus on giving specific tasks for that person so they can excel in that area. Obviously, you do have to take into account of their weaknesses to maybe help them develop and maybe push them to try different things so they can sort of step out of their comfort zone and try different things. And yeah, obviously, as mentioned before, rewards and maybe encouraging them to go to socials, enjoy, and become a bigger part of the community of AIESEC.
And linking back to my previous answer, making each member feel valued within your team and within the whole community itself. I think it's really important to build personal connections with each member as well. So I think even though there's a group dynamic, knowing someone individually is really beneficial to know their strengths and weaknesses, as other people have already said, and to know what they want to achieve in the future. And I think with that knowledge, you can help motivate your members because they know that they're working with you and not like they're working for you as a group. And also like reward and recognition schemes and just making them feel as if they're part of something can change. Thank you.
I think it's really important to personalize your approach to each member to facilitate efficient team management. So, like someone might prefer the carrot approach, some prefer the stick approach. So, for example, with IGI, give the fleets to keep us going. So, I think it's really important to identify each individual's strengths and what they prefer and how are they motivated to make sure our whole team can come as a whole. To make sure that they feel engaged in our team and they're not alone in this whole thing.
Next question is from Agro.
No. Okay, I think before you can start motivating somebody else, yourself, you have to be motivated as well. And I think that's what you have, like, we all have to do. We have to motivate ourselves inside and just tell yourself that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And then, as other people have said, it's important to create all these tight bonds with every member so that we all know our weaknesses and our strengths, and so that we can achieve all the goals and the targets that we set ourselves.
Yeah. So a lot of you talk about R now. So the next question will be, can you suggest a reward or recognition that you personally want and you think truly can motivate yourself?
So the first one, two as well.
I'm not really an outgoing person. That's why maybe in a group I may not be the one that's responsible for external responsibility. So that's why I'm applying for finance VP who works at backstage. And I think that a lot of our members are also love to work in backstage instead of front stage. And therefore, if there's a reward for those who really work hard at backstage, such as like TM organizing LCM, and also for example finance members who help all those financial management, and this will be a really good motivation for the backstage where they are probably mainly being ignored while the front stage are being mainly focused.
I think coming to reward and recognition, we all have to be realistic. So I think we can consider having a promotion scheme, for example, like if one has done really impressive work that week, he might become a leader for the next week. So he can designate work for the rest of the members based on the framework from VP so that they might rest or do whatever they want that week. So I think this is quite encouraging so that members can get a chance to do what they really want to do within the LC or the function.
Yeah, to motivate people and provide reward, we could consider, obviously, again, this all comes down to the finances of the group. We could do some sort of monthly competition, for example, for different committees. So obviously in sales, you can say you're contacting a certain number of people or trying to arrange a meeting, and in outgoing, you consider like getting the number of different numbers or contacts of various people, and just have small individual rewards, be that some sort of leadership position as mentioned earlier, or an actual physical reward, a monetary reward. We could also consider possibly doing maybe a trip, obviously not completely financed by AIESEC, but maybe just going somewhere in England for a weekend or a day getaway, even something, just a cultural trip, just to see, so sort of again, bonding as well as rewarding.
I think it's important to show that people's commitment and dedication is not going unnoticed, and that like the VPs and the EBS so appreciate their members. So I think like maybe attendance to LCM and other activities, it gets like recorded down somehow or something, so people know that who's been dedicated that month or the past term or something, and like perhaps to look at LC member of the month or something to like to motivate everyone and to show that they're being appreciated.
So personally, I prefer the carrot approach. So for the reward scheme, I prefer like food or socials. But for the recognition scheme, I suggest something like what Max has been doing for our IGIP sales tracking. That is to implement a point scheme for like every action you make. For example, when you contact a company, you get company points, and when you accumulate it, there will somehow be a term in somehow like of the week. So I'd say by having this scheme, it'll like induce some sort of competition within your function, and that might help your function to grow somehow.
I don't know if this will apply to like a lot of people, but I think just giving people like words of encouragement, like you did a good job, you were great, you were amazing. I think it's little, but those words will always stay with you, even like from years to come. You always remember that somebody appreciated the work that you did, and somebody actually cared. That you actually put in so much effort into doing something. So I feel like just always, if you see that somebody's doing so much work, just always appreciate it and give them those words like that, words of encouragement. But also like you can give people like badges and stuff if they do what amazing work, and a whole lot of lecture shout outs and stuff, and yeah, you can give somebody a badge and just to show that you really accomplished something.
So having personally went to Maxis, I feel like that is when I really get to know more about AIESEC. I have a sense of belonging after going to Maxis. So for reward, although this might not be possible, I think providing full subsidy for one person to conferences will motivate them, because like not a lot of people can afford £130 for a whole weekend just for conferences. And then I think that will motivate members and also help them to develop a sense of belonging, and also that will motivate them to do a lot more.
The next question is from staff.
So I assume all of you should have your own preferred function within the ED. So my question is, what would you do in the first 10 days of your role?
Valerie?
I'm running for VPT in the coming year. So in the first 10 days of my job, I will first do a reflection of our problem of last year first, and then I will design a large recruitment project in order to get more members and to get those new members to get more involved in our activities. So first, I think we should focus on the Freshers Week because we often recruit members first year. So I think we should carry out marketing scheme in the Vale so we can attract the most year 1 students. Also, if we're not allowed to get into the society fair, we might set up library store during the same week so that all the students can get exposure to other societies while they can get to know about AIESEC too.
Yeah, so the first 10 days of working as the VP for IGFE, this is something I'm working for. I would obviously, having chosen new members to join our committee, I would spend the first weekly meeting with a representation at the IGIP committee, and obviously link it to the AIESEC values that have been discussed previously at a general meeting on Zoom. Then secondly, I would explain the various interfaces that we use by the committee, so HubSpot, Sidekick, any other, obviously internet things that we use to contact various people. Then I would organize social for the committee within the first week, maybe just to get a more bond between the certain group members. I would also, during the first meeting, set up like maybe small first tasks for the individual so they have something to complete, and maybe they have a sense of responsibility that they have to come back and present something the following week. And then obviously after that presentation, the second week, I'll give them personal feedback and just sort of encourage them that they're doing very great and that they should join us for future membership.
I'm running for VPTN, and I think it's really important during like the first week or 2 weeks of the term to really promote AIESEC as like a potential society for someone to get involved in, like a new first year who's looking for opportunities to progress and for a chance to change themselves or seek some sort of fulfillment. And I think that once after recruitment period has ended, getting to know the members and maybe having like a one-to-one session with them at the beginning to know what they're looking for and maybe what they want to achieve. So maybe like after the assessment center, after maybe qualifying as a member, we can do that. And then also after like organizing some sort of social, like a dinner, something quite chill maybe, so we can get to know people even further.
I'm not too sure, but I think I'll be calling for the IGIP. So I'll be doing backup planning first to confirm our targets and how to achieve them in like clear steps, and to make sure I know what kind of members I'd like to have on my team to ensure that my target can be met by the end of my year. And I'll be spending time working on PowerPoints and explaining how AIESEC works to make sure my members know clearly how the whole thing works, and the small sidekick, which can be really tricky. And I'd like to figure out how to motivate my members as well.
about OGDCP. Sorry. Well, first, I think I would have a meeting with all of the members and all of the previous executive board members, just for them to give us some kind of motivation and also pointers on what to do in AIESEC, what challenges you face, and just encourage us to do more. And I think I'll also just get on that social media alert, because I know before I came here on the University of Birmingham page, I was always on it, just kind of just wondering how Birmingham would be. So I think if we were to post a whole lot of things about AIESEC on there, a whole lot of freshers would actually know what AIESEC would be about.
I'm running for VP for MAC. So I think before telling them what AIESEC is about or programs, I still think that it's most important to get to know more about my members, to build a strong bond between them and be the person who they will go to when they have difficulties and be a good listener. And afterwards, so this will be done for socials or just like casual chat between them. And then afterwards, I'll start providing them knowledge about our OGIP and OGCP programs, so they know what they are marketing and promoting for. Because this is one of the problems about MAC function like in the previous years, because member doesn't really know what OGCP or OGIP is. And so afterwards, I agree with what AIESEC said. We need a monthly plan for effective marketing. And marketing should be a yearly thing instead of a push towards the end of the term.
As I'm running for the VP Finance, and if I'm being elected as a VP Finance, I will first get the current status of the financial status for our LC, because it's monthly updated, and then I will analyze also the monthly report before, and so that I can know the trend and how the financial status changes during the month. And then I will give some suggestions, jot down some key factors, and also make some amendments, and also suggest some improvement. And I hope that we can have a sharing between for other VPs and also our LCP, so that we can exchange our idea and as well as to plan a better proposal or idea for the coming year. And so that if we can have some idea that we can increase our income and we can give more subsidy and motivation to our members, so that we can have a better year. Thank you.
Aston? Hi. What is your biggest weakness and how will it hold you back as a LCVP?
Okay, guys, I need to go for Vietnamese Society AGM.
Good luck. Bye.
No, I'll do it. Great, bye guys. All the best.
Gabby?
Yeah. So I believe that my biggest weakness is probably micromanagement, and I like to overplan everything, I like to oversee everything, I like to know what's going on in my community, and that might be a bit of a time-consuming task. And as my IGIP VP said the first time he interviewed me, does that mean that I'm inflexible? I don't think that means that I'm inflexible. I think that means that I have to develop a very good relationship with my committee members to ensure that I can be able to trust them to complete their tasks to be their full maximum capacity. And then I wouldn't have the problem of having to worry about them. Oh, are they doing their job well enough? Or do I have to supervise every single little role or decision that we make? That I will have enough trust in them to make sure that they're doing their job well. So.
Yes, so my function for TM. I guess I wasn't really as talkative as before during the function, but now I feel that my weaknesses are becoming sort of my strength now, in the sense that I've become more outgoing than before. And I think if I were to be VP or TM, that organising LCMs, presenting, I think it would really help me, benefit me, and help other people as well by sharing my experiences and presenting the ideas of AIESEC to the whole LC. And also, I don't think it holds me back anymore, so I'm quite confident.
I'd say one of my weaknesses is that I'm easily affected by external factors. For example, when the weather's really gloomy, I would like to work at all. Sometimes it holds me back on work efficiency and I procrastinate, but I found ways to overcome this. I listen to really upbeat music and trying to force myself to work, and it's starting to work. So I'd say I'm really working on it right now. So that's it.
My biggest weakness is communication. I don't really talk that much to people. Usually I just run away and just be in a little corner. But I feel like I have kind of grown a lot because I'm able to be in a room, talk to people, say hi, how are you doing? So I feel like there's still a whole lot of room left for me to keep on growing and just tackle the issue. But yeah, communication.
I think my biggest weakness is sometimes having such high expectation of things. Because I really wanted to get everything to be perfect, and I often mostly be stressed about some minute things. For example, my LCVP application, I spent a lot more time designing it than answering the questions. But I think that this might not be a weakness, because if I can drive my expectation on a positive way, it'll help me to motivate me more and to achieve my goals.
I think my major weakness is communication, because I think it will be alright for me to accept some instruction, but if it's my turn to give instruction or to give some feedback, I may not really mean that I have to bend your ideas or to force you to do something, but maybe I will sound like that I'm forcing you. So that I hope that in the following year I can learn from other members how to have a better presentation of giving responses, ideas, or giving instructions to others, so that we can have a better communication and bonding with our members. Thank you.
I would say my biggest weakness of working is that I focus too much on details often, because I always think that others' work can be more improved. So I tend to use more time on revising what do they do. So I might use more time than the work actually needs. So to cope with this problem, I think I should place more trust with my members. So I should trust that they can do also a great job.
What is the most pressing issue in the LC that needs resolving, and how can your preferred function contribute to it?
go to the LC, I think it all roots down to the lack of motivation that some of the members may have, that they might not even see the point of attending LCs or activities on campus. So I think that with TM being the human resources hub of the LC, it's such an integral part, and I think it's like it's basically the backbone of the whole community. And I feel that with TM, they should have like strong connections with all the other VPs and the LCP, and from there, like the members of the different parts as well. And I think the connections are so important, and to have a continuous communication on Facebook and messaging, giving everyone their phone number and stuff, just to like promote inclusion and motivation between members.
I think one of the most pressing issues in the LC is the lack of brand awareness on campus and in our community. So I'd say more synergies with MAC and ER might help, and I think RGIP should attend more networking events to promote AIESEC and to make sure companies know that we're out there, because some companies don't even know that we exist, and especially when there are so much more alternatives on, like, for example, government apprenticeship programs. We need to make sure that they know our values and they can relate to them to ensure we can have more IP realizations.
Also, like through this, I feel like it's also the lack of knowledge of AIESEC around campus. That's the missing issue. And I think I've said this so many times about social media. I feel like we live in a day and age where social media is so important. Everybody's just always on their phones. It's so easy to get to know about things. But also, I think it's up to us individually to just spread it, spread the knowledge any way you can. Just talk to a friend, talk to a stranger. Just anything you could do that could also help. And also, as a group collectively, I think it's also important for members to also come to meetings and just come up with strategies that just can help us to spread AIESEC around campus.
Yeah, so I agree with Prudence and Rota. I feel like brand awareness is the most pressing issue in our LC. And because I'm running for MAC, and MAC is the for people who directly deal with students. And I think like we should promote more about AIESEC, because like volunteering programs, there are a lot of different types of volunteering programs offered in the university. But then people don't really know about what AIESEC do, and they didn't know that like we are aiming for sustainable development goals and how we're working with the UN. So I think like brand awareness is really important. And so this will help with other issues of lack of signups. And so like, I feel like MAC will help like not even raising brand awareness, but also helping the OGX
I think the major issue of AIESEC Birmingham is that we are not under the guild, and compared to other LC, they are mostly under the guild. That's why they are well promoted. And I know that the previous LC for the past few years have been working very hard trying to promote AIESEC under the guild, but we can't. But we should never give up, and we should keep trying. And that's why this year, with the new guild members, new guild officials, we can try to apply AIESEC to be under the guild again. And as Serena has said, we have a lot of competitors such as UNICEF or other volunteering organization. And so that if they can be under the guild, why can't we? And actually, we are in a bigger scale that we have AIESEC in all over the world. And so why can't we be under the guild? That's why we should try again, so that AIESEC can be more promoted and be more successful.
I think the biggest issue in AIESEC Birmingham is that members lack motivation to work. I think for talent management, we have to educate our members to let them know actually they are doing something really meaningful and they really do change the society. And also, I think another reason why the members are not motivated is that because they know no matter what they do, because we lack members and we do not have recognition in our campus, they know that what they do cannot raise enough attention, so that they don't really work hard. I think apart from TM, which is also for each function, which we have to set targets and rewards. So to motivate more members to work harder. Also, I think stronger bonding may solve our problem. So getting closer with members will make them more willing to help get involved in our activities.
Yes, so I agree with the previous ones, as it's already mentioned before. I think what we need to do is place AIESEC on the map in Birmingham as a company that is not just another corporate volunteer tourism company that just takes money from you and sends you off to help save children in Africa for 2 weeks, and then you forget about it, or you have amazing Facebook pages, but you have nothing real valuable thing to show afterwards. So I think the way IGIP could help this is by networking and facilitating relationships with different companies in Birmingham and hoping to sign some sort of agreement or possibly just getting more information out to show local people that it's not only just about sending you out into different countries to volunteer or have internships, but it's also that we bring people here to Birmingham and that we have links here within different companies, and I think that would make them understand what AIESEC actually does and present it as a strong and unified community.
Next question comes from Ella.
This is the last question. Which cartoon character best describes you?
Alright, I'm actually quite tempted to answer total one because I love it so much, but no. I think Pikachu would be best described anyway. You won't be able to imagine it, but when I'm not sick, my voice is kind of like Pikachu. Don't imagine it. And I'm always full of energy like Pikachu. So I'd say sometimes when I'm out of calorie, I might be like really tired, but I'm always energetic and enthusiastic like Pikachu. So I'd say it best describes me.
I'm not sure if you guys know, there was this cartoon called Wings Club, and there was this like little fairy, and there's this fairy called Eden, and she was the leader, and she always followed her heart, no matter what anybody told her, she always followed her heart, and she always motivated other fairies going to war and stuff, and I feel like that's the kind of person I am. I feel I can always motivate people around me. If I see that, okay, you have some sort of weakness, I'm like, okay, let's tackle this together, we can overcome it, and then we can both just reach our goals. So, yeah.
Mine personally is a huge Disney fan, and so like for a cartoon character, I'll say Olaf, because Olaf is very positive and it's very approachable. And then, like, it has a very optimistic character. Although, as what I said before, I always have very high expectations for myself, but I always look at the positive side of things. So, for example, for deadlines, I always look forward to the after deadline, how I don't have anything to do. And then also, yeah, I think, so, like, always very optimistic and positive, and they look at the bright side of things.
In Cartoon Network, there's a little boy called Ben 10, which with his watch can swap into 10 different forms. And I mean, Ken is the best person to represent me because I can be everything. I can be easily shaped, and I'm quite kind of flexible. And so that when someone is involved, which is their strength, and I'm really weak at that prospect, but when they're involved in something, they may have not covered something or they have made some mistakes. So I can act as the one to proofread them, to help them, tell them that they have made mistake. And if it's my turn to be involved, I will be the guide, I will be the one to lead, and I hope that my members can support me at the same time. So yeah, I'm quite flexible.
So if I really have to use a content to describe myself, like my walk-in bill say, it will be one of the Powerpuff Girls. I can be enthusiastic and energetic sometimes, but without others staying with me, I wouldn't do that. Also, I believe everyone has something that they are good at, but I think no one can be really good and express their potential out without others' help and support. So I think I'm similar to one of the Powerpuff Girls. Without others, I wouldn't be who I am now. So in AIESEC journey, I believe with everyone's help, we will all be able to unleash our potential to become a creative person.
Yeah, there's a Cartoon Network show as well. It's an American one. It's called Curse of Cowardly Doll. And firstly, it shows my love for horror films and scary films. I absolutely adore them, and I think that show kind of sparked my interest in it. And secondly, I think I represent that character quite well because even though some of the tasks might seem daunting and scary at first, I think I'm extremely dedicated, as the little dog is, to his family, and family here in this sense is the AIESEC community. And I would work to my best ability to provide the best sort of solutions and outcomes and experiences for everyone involved, and sort of try to tackle these tasks as best as I can in order for the benefit of all.
I think that the content how to describe me best is from Kung Fu Panda Pose. I think that there is a process of learning involved. That even though at the beginning you might seem to be overwhelmed, but once you understand your position within the team, like the Kung Fu squad, you know, like if you sort of take that as an EV, I think that with commitment and dedication and spending time and effort and passion, you can be the person that you want to be. And I think being part of the team will promote that, and you will be shaped by each other. So I think that's it.
Thank you, candidates, and thank you to the LC for all of your questions. I'm going to go into voting now, so I'm going to go back to the candy room.
Okay, good. That's how we got trouble all the way back. Can you like